Good morning, Faith family. Happy Wednesday morning to you. I hope that you've had a great start to your week. I'm excited to share with you guys this morning a passage from the New Testament that I have been working through, some for the Gospel Project for Kids and mostly for myself. We are studying the life of Jesus while he was here on earth. And we were talking this week about a passage of scripture in Matthew 22 where the religious leaders were trying to trip Jesus up. They were going to ask him some tricky questions to try to trip him up and stumble him on his answers. And so they have an exchange with Jesus asking a few questions. And then the one that we camped on the most this week and caused me to really do some soul searching and some prayer time with God is the final question that one of the final questions that a religious leader asked Jesus was, what is God's number one command? And Jesus responds back with, you're to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. But he doesn't stop there. He says, and equally important is to love your neighbor as yourself. And so in Kids Church on Sunday, we specifically talked about how easy it was to do the first part. Loving God with all that we have, our heart, soul, mind, and strength, feels pretty easy. We're grateful to God that he sent his son Jesus to die on the cross for us because he loves us so much. And when somebody loves us so much that they give us a gift like that, it's easy to reciprocate that love to somebody. But we struggled a little bit more with the second part that talks about specifically loving your neighbor as yourself. Loving our friends is easy. The people in our circle, the people that God has put in our lives, and the people that we've chosen to put into our circle of friends and family feels a little bit easier to do because we probably share things in common with them. Maybe it's a sport team or an activity that we do. Maybe it's going to the same church. But it's easy to love those people. However, the people that we have differences with, the people that we maybe don't share the same kind of things with, whether it be activities or passions, beliefs, morals, those people come a little bit harder for us to love, or at least that's been my experience. And so my challenge to myself this week has been to really work on loving others, regardless of how different our opinions are, or our stances are, or our beliefs are. I'm drawn to John 13, where Jesus tells his disciples, they'll know you're my followers by your love. And so I want people to know that I'm a Jesus follower by my love for people. And so that's going to be what I work on this week. I want to be way more like the story in the Good Samaritan, with the one that really stopped and gave all that they had to love on somebody, even though they didn't have a relationship with them, even though there was differences. That story in and of itself is enough to tell us exactly how we're supposed to love on people. And so that's my challenge to myself, and maybe to some of you if you're also struggling with that, is to let people know that we're Christ followers by how we love them, how we treat them. And sometimes maybe that's in person, sometimes maybe that's over the screen via social media. But irregardless, that's what I'm going to be working on, and I hope some of you might join me as well, is let's love others the way that Jesus would love them, or at least so that they know that we're Christ followers by how we love them. Have a great week.